So my wife's been talking about making soap for years, and finally we're gonna pull the plug and start going on that. She started ordering up some of the different supplies for some of that stuff. A lot of the stuff you gotta keep separate from your kitchen stuff just because of some of the things you're working with. We've specifically set aside a bunch of lard from our pigs. Obviously we didn't do pigs this year, but the year previously stuffed that into the freezer for the purpose of doing this. We also have to round up a couple other supplies, and the plan is to do a couple of test batch, keep things pretty basic and simple, but right now we just got to get a couple things rounded up before all the fun and adventure starts.
And I thought this would be smaller. So funny.
Need a form here.
Mold.
A mold.
And then these are, I don't know if these are nice or not for cutting. I have no idea. And my pink glasses, so you don't steal them.
But I will steal this. We're headed down to the city. We don't live anywhere close to a Sam's Club or a Costco, and it just doesn't make sense for us to have a membership for something like that. We heard about this Restaurant Depot. It's kind of like a Sam's Club Costco thing from what we understand. There's no membership. That's for restaurants, I guess. We're gonna go down and check things out. A lot of times when you make a soap, there's food grade items in there, lard, different fats and oils. We're gonna see what they have down there. So we'll take you guys along and see what this place is like.
What's down there? See Restaurant Depot?
Restaurant Depot, huh? Wow. Look at all the seasonings.
$3.35, very huge. Like tumor. Or like this big tumor tartar. Think about like the Play-Doh you can make. Only $8.
How much is that bag of rice?
I think 100 pounds.
100-pound bag.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Question is, what's the price on
It's
it?
like a body. See, $5 for this huge thing? What?
What would you use food coloring in, like Play-Doh and stuff?
Yeah, like Play-Doh or cookie frosting. It's only $1.91 for red. I just want to get some. In a gallon. Oh my god, a gallon is $4.77. That's crazy. $35 for
100 pounds?
100 pounds of pinto beans. $35.
The rice right here, right? How big are these bags? 40 pounds, 24 bucks.
Basmati
Granulated sugar, 25 bucks.
for 50 pounds.
50 pounds, wow. We're not finding a ton of soap making stuff, but there's just a lot of good cooking type things that you buy huge bags of flour or sugar or the stuff that you tend to use quite a bit. This is like a prepper's paradise. All the huge bags of some of these items in here. Clarified butter too. Hershey's Cocoa.
That's for like making brownies and stuff.
Yeah, look at the cake mix boxes. Holy cow. This thing is huge. Cast iron. I would have killed to find a place like this to get brewing pots a long time ago. Look at how big some of these are. How much are they? Yeah. You know what prices on any of the stuff we're interested in. Look at that huge walk down there. Look at the chef jackets.
It's only $12. Can you get it? Can you get it?
You gonna get that whisk? So that Restaurant Depot place was a lot of fun walking around there. You're able to see a lot of different things that you don't see in a general public store. Pizza boxes, huge rolls of tin foil, and 5-gallon buckets of soy sauce. There was just so many different things, and the prices were really reasonable. But I think sometimes it kind of comes down to, you know, like you walk into a Sam's Club or a Costco and you end up with, you know, a huge case of something. Are you actually going to be able to use some of that stuff up? If you're a prepper, I think this is definitely a place worth checking out. Or if you're someone that cooks from scratch a lot, like we blow through a lot of flour, sugar from time to time. You can get large quantities of stuff, and it's really nice, especially where we live, where we don't get into town very often to be able to get supplies. It's kind of nice to stock up on some of that stuff on the things that you use quite often. Not a lot of soap making things in there. We did end up getting some olive oil and some coconut oil, and we were definitely able to get those cheaper than what we were able to at like a Walmart. Plus they were larger quantity sizes. Huge cooler section there, tons of meats and produce and different things like that. It was really interesting. It reminded me a lot of a Sam's Club or a Costco, but remove all those other miscellaneous items that they have in there, those vacuums and all that stuff, and just put just cooking items such as food and some of the utensils to do that. And that's kind of what this place was like. We walked in there was no questions asked. We grabbed our items, and when it came time to get checked out, they asked if we had a membership. We said no. They scanned a different barcode. I'm assuming it has to do with tax reasons or something. So it's not really a whole lot. It was kind of interesting walking around that place, and I definitely got the impression there was a couple other families in there just looking to save a few bucks and buying some meats and different things like that. So if you're someone that's got a prepper mindset or is looking to stock up on some things, taking a look at this place definitely might be worth your time. So I'm finally starting to get around to getting some of this popcorn that we grew this last summer off the cob, and still have quite a ways to go here, but got a 1-gallon bucket already filled up here. While we were down there at the store, I did find popcorn salt as well and picked that up. I have not been able to find it in our local stores, and they had it there for a heck of a price. They're a huge container for only $1.50. So a lot of times when I do these by hand, I try to pick a row in here and just work that row off. So I get a nice big opening going all the way down. And then it's very easy just to roll that stuff right on over the edges like this afterwards, and makes for a lot faster process of getting this all cleaned up. Once these things dry out, they're a lot easier to get the kernels off than if these things were just freshly picked and hadn't dried at all. Another really useful tool is something like this. It allows you to run the corn cob through here and shell everything off. However, when you deal with a smaller variety of popcorn like this, it slides right on through, so it's not the most ideal. You can kind of push it to one side to get things started, but a lot of times then I find myself still having to come in here and do it by hand. When all else fails, need another helper. So you can see I'll have to clean this a little bit more. I'm going to let the wind do this. I'm going to go outside, let the wind kind of blow this. I'm going to transfer between two containers, and it should blow a lot of this stuff away. Now that we have all the basic supplies, we are going to try making our first batch just using a standard lye. One thing I would love to try doing here in the near future as well is doing a little experimenting using wood ash to make lye and see how that goes. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.